Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Cikal Ryan. Saya hari ini akan membahas tentang resume meeting video dari pertemuan 1 sampai 3. Yang pertama, kita akan membahas tentang chapter 1, overview of multinational financial management. What is the globalization process and how it moves business from domestic to global? The first one is, what is different about international finance? The first is presence of additional opportunity and presence of additional risk. And the second question is, why do firms expand to other countries? The first is seek new markets and minimize costs, seek new technology and reduce risk. Move to management structure of MNC. The first one is decentralized or bottom up, or we call low control. The positive is give more control to the managers, and the negative one is higher agency cost. And the centralized or top down, or we call high control. The positive is reduce agency cost, and the negative is parents managers may make poor decision if information is limited. And for international business theory, comparative advantage, absolute advantage, imperfect markets, and product cycle. And we move to chapter 2, international flow of funds. We will talk about what is balance of payment. Balance of payment is a summary of transaction between domestic and foreign residents for a specific country over a specified period of time. And for agency that facilitate international flows are Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD. The second is Bank for International Settlements, and the last is International Development Association, or IDA. Okay, next we will next to chapter 3, International Financial Markets. And what is foreign exchange market? Market that allows for the exchange of one currency for another currency based on specific exchange rate. The foreign exchange market allows currency to be exchanged in order to facilitate international trade or financial transaction. The commercial banks serve as financial intermediaries in this market. What is a difference between spot rate and future rate? The spot rate and forward rate are different price or cost for different contract. The spot rate is the settlement price of a spot contract, while the future rate is the settlement price of a forward or future contract. Spot contract is a contract that using a current price of the assets, commodity, security, or currency for immediate settlement and delivery and payment on spot date. And for the future forward contract is a contract that involves an agreement of contract on the current date with the delivery and payment at a specified future date. And we move to direct and indirect quote. A direct quote is a home currency price of a unit of foreign currency, and for the indirect quote is a foreign currency price of a unit of home currency. What are the benefits of international money markets? There are 4 benefits for international money markets, and the first one is facilitating foreign trade. The second is currency stability. The third is greater flexibility, and the last lower rates and risk. we move to chapter 4, exchange rate determination. What is an exchange rate? The value of one currency in units of another currency. And what factor does determine the supply and demand of currency, the level of trading and capital flow between countries. Uh, for chapter 4, we next to what factor does determine and factors that influence exchange rates, inflation, interest rate, income level, government control, and market expectation of future ER. Jadi itu semua mengulang-ulang terus. And for relative inflation rates, we will talk about how does the market will react when there is a sudden jump in Indonesia inflation and Japan's inflation remain the same. There is an increase in the Indonesian demand for Japanese goods that caused an increase in Indonesian demand for Japanese yen. It means that demand of rupiah in the market will be decreased and its supply will be increased, which reduce the rupiah value. And then we next to why MNC managers needs to continuously monitor exchange rate movement, because they need to understand what factors might influence it in order to anticipate for an appropriate response in changing conditions. Right, we move to chapter 5, currency derivative. We will talk about hedging contract, future market, forward market, option market, currency derivative, and derivative contract formation. What is derivative? Derivative is a product which the value of its determined by the value of another product. And what is currency derivative? Currency derivative is a contract whose price is derived from value of the underlying currency that it represents commonly used to hedge their exposure to exchange rate risk. And what is hedging? Hedging is the process of shifting risk in the spot market to the future market by holding derivative contract. There are two positions in hedging. One is long and second is short hedges. A long position is appropriate when you know you will purchase an asset foreign currency in the future and want to lock in the price. And for the short position is appropriate when you know you will sell an asset in the future and want to lock in the price. What is straddle? Straddle is one possible strategy for volatile currency by purchase both a put option and a call option at the same exercise price. Okay, next we move to chapter 6, government influence on exchange. Wait a minute. Okay, we will talk about chapter 6. And this is a history of foreign exchange. Sorry, there is a mistake. In 18 1976 until 19, 1913, its currency was convertible into gold a specified rate, and for 1944 until 1971, the government should intervene to prevent exchange rates from moving more than 1% above below their established levels. And for 1973, floating exchange rate, the currency were allowed to fluctuate in accordance with market force, and the official boundaries were limited. Since we will talk about the exchange rate system. For the first one is fixed exchange rate, which means requires much central bank intervention in order to maintain a currency value within narrow boundaries by offsetting any imbalance between demand and supply. And the second one is freely floating ER, float freely without government intervention. And the third is managed float ER, lies somewhere between fixed and freely floating system that exists today. And the last is page exchange rate, page to one stable currency dollar or to an index of currency. It move in line with that currency against other currency. And we talk about how central bank intervention can stimulate the U.S. economy. And for the direct intervention, the Federal Reserve to purchase foreign currency, and the indirect intervention is the Fed reduce U.S. interest rates. Okay, that's all for discuss about previous meeting video from meeting one until meeting seven. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum.